What's going on, everybody? We're back here, the Hair from the Hair and the Beard podcast. Joe, MMA Investing, Patreon, Instagram, everything else. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, my dude. I can't wait to break this one down for sure. This card's pretty nutty, man. Top to bottom, limbs and then some. It's pretty cool.
Stacked as fuck. UFC 266. We were in the war room before this trying to figure out, fuck, dude, which fight should we do? This is crazy. So we're just let's fucking do pretty much almost all of them. Yeah, this is stacked as fuck. The UFC matchmakers, they're killing it right now. So we're actually going to do some of the prelims, which is new for us. We try to attend to the casuals, but even these were hard for us to deny, right? So we'll go ahead and go with the first prelim that we're going to do, which is Dan Hooker and Nasrat. I don't know the fuck to say his last name.
Haqparast, I think.
Haqparast, yes. Let's do that. Let's go with that. How do you see this fight going?
Dude, this is a sick ass prelim fight. This almost rivals, what was it, 258 with Adesanya, where they had every fight on that card was just a good ass fight. I mean, every fight had name value.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, this is a good ass fight for sure. We have Hooker, who's been in the top 10 for a while now, who's been fighting some of the top guys, and now he's fighting a contender, Nasrat Haqparast, who's kind of coming up the ranks. He's been really good, blue chip prospect, and this is his first real big test, right? If Haqparast can get past Hooker, he's going to push himself right into that top 15 mix, and then get some big fights ahead of him. But like I said, this is a big test for Haqparast. The first big test he got, I believe, was Drew Dober, and he got knocked out.
Yeah.
He was in that fight. But, man, this is going to be a very tough fight for both guys. Haqparast really thrives in that boxing range. He's a very good he excels at boxing. He's a good kickboxer, but he's really good as that boxing range. He's slick with his left hand. He has a good check right hook that he uses. He's a southpaw. Really good fighter. He has very good takedown defense as well. I don't think that's going to be a real problem with Hooker. Hooker will shoot takedowns occasionally, but where Hooker thrives as well as in that kickboxing range. I'm going to give the edge to Hooker here. I think Hooker gets it done mainly because of the kicks and mainly because of his experience. He's fought a lot higher level competition than Haqparast. And I think it's a 3-round fight, and that also favors Hooker's because Hooker's showed that he kind of fades off the later the fight goes. But this is 3 rounds. Be able to go 3 very hard rounds and give everything he has. I think he's going to get those calf kicks working early that he's shown very well. He can do very well. And just kind of mix it up a bit, man. I think Haqparast is going to be competitive, though. He's probably going to tag Hooker a few times. But I think as that fight goes on, I think Hooker's going to find his range, get those calf kicks working, kind of invest in the body, invest in those legs, just mix it up well. And I just see Hooker getting his hand raised at the end of the day. Probably a decision, I'm thinking, but I like Hooker here, man. But it's going to be a good fight, and it's a good test for both guys.
No, for sure. You broke it down tremendously. When I think of Dan Hooker, I think of that war he had with Poirier, right? That crazy war. And then, of course, that incident he had with Chandler, which he just got fucking
happens, man.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. You know what I mean? So I still think Hooker has that dog in him. People are saying, oh, his chin's gone now. I'm not there yet. I think he's still game as fuck. I think he just hit a hype train on the way. That's what happened. Chandler just came in hot. And I think he gets it done too. I think Hooker's still a beast. He's still one of the best dudes in the world still. I think Hooker gets it as well. Next one we have, again, it's your featured fight on the prelims. Marlon Moraes and then Merab what you say that shit? Valashvili. Well, go ahead.
Look. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Another ass fight, another really good test for both guys.
Banger, bro.
And Valashvili has looked like a mini Khabib, dude. The guy's been on an absolute fucking tear, tearing everybody up. He's a really good grappler, and his striking has been coming along. This is his first big test, though, similar to kind of Haqparast coming up the ranks when he's getting a big test. It's a very similar fight in that way. This is a tough fight to break down, man. I mean, Valashvili is a 2-1 favorite here. I think he's minus 220. But I mean, don't count Moraes out here, man. I know he hasn't looked very good at all. We saw him get knocked out by Font. Then he got knocked out by Sandhagen before that. But we're talking about Font and Sandhagen, right? 2 top 3 guys with very good striking.
Yeah.
Valashvili he's going to want to wrestle, right? He's going to want to wrestle right away, get Moraes to the mat, beat him up, grind him out. Moraes, from what I've seen, has shown very good takedown defense. He's also very physically strong and athletic. On the feet, I have to give a very strong advantage to Marias.
Big time.
Big time, right? Velashvili, he's looked better, but I mean, in terms of pure kickboxing, I just don't think he can compete with Marias. And because of that, dude, I got to take Marias here. I think Velashvili, he's always going to push the pace like he always does. He's going to try to get Marias to that fence if he can't get the takedowns and try to work that into his game. But the problem with Velashvili, man, he just doesn't have very good top control. If he's able to take you down, he's never able to really keep you down and kind of hold you there. And I think that's going to be a problem here. I think that's going to give a lot of opportunities for Marias to kind of catch him and get those leg kicks working and maybe catch him with a big right hand, man. It's not like Velashvili is invincible. He's lost 4 times before. And I just kind of see this fight going to where Velashvili is kind of maybe looking good. There's moments, but I just think that at some point Marias is going to find his chin with a right hand or maybe even a kick and put Velashvili down, man. That's where I see it going. It's a bold take for sure because, like I said, Marias is like a plus 200 underdog here.
Yeah.
But that's good value. And from a betting perspective, I kind of have to take that shot. So I see Marias getting it done, man.
No, for sure. Make sure, again, MMA investing, he knows what the fuck he's doing for sure. Yeah, so that point, I could definitely see that happening. I could definitely see Marlon Moraes doing what you said, being the veteran, being in those big lights already and knowing what the fuck to do. Also, though, as I am a wrestling, WWE Pro Wrestling Advocate, AEW, I do like to see young stars get built up, right? But I like seeing that. I like seeing new names get thrown in the mix just to amp up the name recognition and just the product overall. I do hope Merab wins just for that. This is going to be his biggest test for sure, biggest lights for sure, as you said. And yeah, you know, those, of course, those guys, like you said, like you mentioned, the Habibs of the world, that's what they do. They go, they take down, they wrestle. Now, this guy is definitely not on the Habib level, but I'd love to see him execute his game plan and move on, maybe get on the main card of a next fight and just keep going up. Again, Moraes could definitely just kill those plans. He's been there, done that for sure. But I'd like to see Merab do it and take the next step. Maybe see that he's improved his game, see he's learned from his losses, and so on and so forth. But we'll see. Next fight, we're gonna go to the main card, and we're gonna go right ahead to the big boys, the thick boys. Curtis Blades versus Eugenio Rosenstrike. Honestly, bro, I don't see this lasting very, very long as the big boys tend to just go crazy. They both have knockout power for sure. Rosenstrike looked decent his last fight. He's only had that real hiccup against Ngannou where Ngannou just fucking blitzed him, bro. Just like
the gorilla bit blitz.
Dude, he went straight Donkey Kong on him and just ran forward, chin up, and
no respect.
Yeah, zero respect, bro. But real quick, how do you see this fight going?
Dude, yeah, it's a weird fight, right? It's almost like the Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis fight all over again, right?
Yeah.
Where we have kind of low volume striker that's just not very good with the grappling and that has knockout power. But I think Derek Lewis has a lot more knockout power than Rosenstruck.
100%.
Rosenstrike, whatever you want to say it.
Yeah.
But Rosenstrike has a shit ton of power, right? Everyone at heavyweight has power, right? I mean, if you get in the heavyweight division, you're probably going to go out. But, man, Curtis Blades wrestling is so fucking good, man. And Rosenstrike's takedown defense and his grappling, just from what I've seen, it really isn't there.
Non-existent,
yeah. I mean, like, in a kickboxing fight, he can do well, right? Like we saw in the Augusto Sakai fight. Yeah. But not where Curtis Blades is going to play. And I think he's probably learned a lesson from the Lewis fight that stick to what you do best, right? Don't be messing around with dudes on the feet that can knock your ass out at any given second. Get Rosenstrike to the mat right away, put him on his back, and beat the shit out of him. And I fully expect Blades to do that here. I fully expect Blades to come out, go for the single, double leg right away, get Rosenstrike on his back. And once he hits his back, I think Rosenstrike's going to look like a fish out of water there. And Blades' top control is going to be too much. And I think Blades is going to put a pounding on him, man. I don't see Rosenstrike lasting more than 2 rounds here. I think Rosenstrike's going to get him out of there. Blades is going to get him out of there within the first round, maybe early second round with just that ground and pound, maybe even a rear naked choke or something. But Blades is going to get it done here, man.
No, for sure, bro. And there's a reason I brought up that Ngannou just, like you said, no respect blitz that he did because of Curtis Blades wrestling. I think that's what Rosenstrike should do in this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, if Blades gets a hold of him, he could either just sit on him and ground and pound for 3 rounds, or he could just rough him up and fuck him up for the first or second round, put a stoppage to it. So to that point, like I said, I think maybe not do what Ngannou did, just the chin up, let's throw. But I think he should blitz him though. I think if he wants to win, he should blitz him. Get in an exchange for sure. Of course, yeah, he can get clipped, but he's not going to out wrestle Curtis Blades. We both know that. So I think if I'm his coach, which sounds reckless, I think, hey, blitz the dude. Let's get in a fucking slobber knocker with this guy and see who hits harder. Because I think that's in Rosenstrike's best chance to win this fight for sure. So, and if that doesn't happen, then yeah, I see Curtis Blades for sure doing what you said. If not grinding it out for the whole 3, then yeah, putting a stop first or second, just with vicious ground and pound, throwing some elbows, whatever. Far superior wrestler to that. So yes, good shit. Next one, this is probably gonna get one of the biggest pops of the night.
Oh yeah,
with Nick Diaz. And you know Nate's going to be in the audience too. So Nick Diaz versus your boy Robbie Lawler. This is on paper. This probably doesn't look like a really, really good fight because I mean Robbie Lawler hasn't fought in a long ass time since the Ben Askren shit, right?
It was Neil Magny, I think.
Oh,
that was about a year ago. It was like a year ago. But it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Nick Diaz hasn't fought in. Fuck, dude. I think Obama was president. Just a bad joke, but yeah, Nick Diaz hasn't fought in a long time. So I mean, you definitely might see some ring rust in this for sure. The Diaz brothers, of course, have great hands. Both of them do. Diaz has great hands, but we'll see. How do you see this fight going?
Dude, this fight, it's fucking nutty, right? This is 17 years in the making of a rematch, dude.
Yeah.
Nick Diaz hasn't fought, I think, in about 7 years. I think you're about all right with the Obama thing. It's been a long ass time, man. Yeah. I don't think we've ever in the history of MMA seen somebody come back from a 7-year layoff, I didn't let alone win a fight. Yeah. But nobody's Nick Diaz, right? I mean, if anybody's gonna do it, it's Nick Diaz, man. And Robbie Lawler himself has looked like a shell of himself. The guy's just super gun shy now. He doesn't throw anything. He's nothing like the Robbie Lawler of the past. It's tough,
hard,
man.
It's hard. Yeah, I get it.
It is because it's a pick 'em fight for a reason, right? It's -110 each way. Whatever side you're going to go, you're going to get even money essentially, and that makes perfect sense. The problem I'm having is Nick Diaz. He doesn't go out there to like quote unquote win a fight, right? He's not going to go out there and like try to win like a decision. Like he's not going to do enough. He's going to think he won the fight regardless, right? If he rocks him once, he's probably going to slap him in the face and then go from there. I'm taking Nick Diaz though, man. I think Nick Diaz is going to get it done mainly because he already has a win over Robbie. And like, I know it's been a long, long time, but like psychologically that plays a factor. And Robbie, dude, he just looks so bad, dude. Like he really does look like a shell of himself, man. He's at the end of his career as well. And he just doesn't look like he has it anymore. And I know Nick's been gone for a long time and Robbie has the way more active fight career up until this point. But man, I just think Nick's gonna be able to go out there and just box Robbie up a bit, man. I think he's gonna out-volume him. I don't think Nick's gonna be scared to throw it all. I think Nick's always gonna have a really good zombie chin, like the Diaz bros have. And I just think he's gonna get in his face, dude. And Robbie's gonna be a little gun shy. And I think Nick's gonna just piece him up, dude, with the boxing. And I think he's gonna look probably not like himself in his prime, obviously, but I think he's gonna look just good enough to beat a washed up Robbie Lawler here, man. I think the slick boxing that Nick has is just going to be able to get the job done. Nick's really, when you look at his record and what he's done, he's one of the best fighters of all time at the end of the day. I mean, obviously I wouldn't put him in my Mount Rushmore, like my top 10 or anything, but he's up there, man. He's fought some of the greats, GSP, Anderson Silva. I think the only guy to ever do that, by the way. And I just think he's going to have just enough in the tank to get a decision win here. Maybe knock out Lawler. It's going to be tough, obviously, but I think Diaz is going to get us done, man.
Yeah, definitely. Great breakdown. Now, I think you're definitely going to see a lot. I think more than anything from Diaz. We kind of know what Lawler is right now. Diaz, we have no fucking idea what we're going to see, I think. It's 7 years. 7 years is an eternity in MMA, bro. That's a lifetime. So I think, maybe we'll see some rust. But if we see any kind of like snappiness in his punches and head movement and footwork, I think that's going to tell us right away, oh shit, he's still that dude. So to that point, yeah, man, I think Lawler, what we're seeing from him is what we see from a lot of guys entering their twilight. Their main thing, you can even throw Mr. Woodley in there, is I don't want to get knocked out and become a meme. That's really what a lot of those guys enter in. So yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, they're very gun shy. They don't want to throw because what happens when you throw? You leave
Get
yourself
knocked out.
exposed
Yep.
for the counter.
Right.
So and we're not fight experts, of course. Me and you are just, yeah, we're talkers.
Watch.
We train a little bit, you know what I mean? We watch, but of course we still have some kind of input. Definitely you do for sure. Yeah, so I think back then when he was young and reckless, was able to do that kind of shit. Right now, as what you see with a lot of guys entering their twilight, they don't want to throw to leave themselves open for the KO because they don't want to see themselves like that. I think it's a pride factor, and I think too it's just what happens when you get older too, bro. You just don't want that to happen, and you're slower, you know, all that stuff. So to that point, I think Diaz sure hasn't been active in the octagon per se, but I'm sure he's very active with his brother, with his training partners. Overall, still trains all the time. So to that point, yeah, I have Diaz winning too. I think Lawler, honestly, bro, I think we might see the end for Lawler in this. I think if he loses, especially if let's say Diaz knocks him out, which the Diaz brothers aren't known for that kind of shit, but let's say that does happen, or a choke or just something. Let's say he gets stopped. Anyway, he gets stopped. I think we see Lawler's release papers happening. I really do.
I think so too, man. Because from what I've seen, it's just not there anymore. And odds are, if he loses this fight, it's not going to be good for Robbie. Odds are he probably gets dominated. And that's a really good point you brought up, man. That Diaz ain't going to be scared to go out there and get in your face and throw down, dude. He ain't going to be gun shy. He ain't going to be scared to get knocked out. He's going to trust his chin. He's going to trust his scrappiness. And I just think that's going to be too much for Robbie, man, at the end of the day. Nick's always been a super slick boxer, and he knows what he has to do to get the win. But, like, in terms of, like, trusting him from a betting perspective, it's tough. Because, like I said, like, the Diaz bros just don't give a fuck about winning on the judges' scorecards at the end of the day. They want to slap you in the face, rough you up a bit, and hope for the best. If they get the win, they're going to think they won regardless, like I said earlier. What.
Yeah.
But this is fucking sick, dude. This is a sick-ass fight. I'm really happy the UFC made this fight. And it's not like Nick's that old anyways. I think he's like 35, 36. Like, he's still a young dude. I mean, it's not like he's super old. It's not like he's 41, 42.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's going to be interesting, man. I really can't wait to see this one. This is probably the fight I'm most looking forward to by far.
Yeah, and most of the casuals, like I said, that's who buys the pay-per-views. That's who buys the casuals fill up the arenas.
Right.
Yeah, dude, as you mentioned before in the Blades fight, the volume was the issue, right? This is not going to be the issue in this fight because the Diaz brothers are volume. Volume is right next to their name. And yeah, I think that's what's going to happen for sure. Can't wait for this shit, 100%. Next one, your co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko. I feel like she's been champion forever already. Going against Miss Lauren Murphy, bro. Okay, yeah, exactly. I don't think we need to go over this too much. I don't want to disrespect Miss Murphy that much. But, dude, Shevchenko will beat anybody not named Amanda Nunes, I believe. That's just the reality of the matter. My boy CM Punk, I think she'd beat his ass too in the octagon. Yeah, dude, I think Shevchenko's she's just going to be too much for her. It might be first, second round at most. Again, I don't want to disrespect Murphy that much. She's game and only has 4 losses, but Shevchenko is not going to lose to anybody not named Miss Amanda Nunes. Go ahead.
I'm going to disrespect her. I think.
Go ahead, Mr. Chelsea.
I think she's dog shit. I think she shouldn't even be in the spot. She lost her last fight to Joanne Calderwood. Calderwood, shouldn't have been a beatdown on her, but she clearly won 2 of those rounds. Murphy shouldn't even be fighting for the belt here. If anybody should be fighting for the belt, it's Calderwood, who also would have got slaughtered. You're just giving Shevchenko another lamb to slaughter, right? This is another lamb to slaughter. This is a fight to fill up the card.
Oh, shit.
What the hell is Murphy going to do to her, right? Like, Murphy's game is she's a physically strong woman. She can wrestle a bit, some very average boxing. That's never going to be enough to beat Valentina Shevchenko. It's never, ever going to be enough. You have to have an X factor, right? You have to have, like, absurd knockout power or, like, a wicked ground game or something, or just be Amanda Nunes. And she has none of that, man. She's not going to be able to take Valentina down. She's not going to be able to strike with her. Her toughness might keep her in the fight for a bit because I think she's a fairly tough chick. But at some point, some way, Valentina however and whenever she wants.
Yeah, and again, I was trying to be respectful. I was trying really hard, but you just cut one of the best promos I've heard you cut since we
That's
started
right.
doing this thing. That was tremendous.
I've
Your
been
Chael
watching Uncle
Sonnen,
Chael.
yeah, that Chael Sonnen shit's on a whole new level now, bro. Congrats to that. The promo was great. And at the same time too, they say in the old Ric Flair days, if you speak your actual mind in a promo, it usually comes out better. So I truly believe that was your true thoughts on it. That's why that promo sounded so damn good. Yeah, bro. I mean, you hit around the button. I didn't want to go that route, but I mean, might as well, right? That's what's going to happen.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? Shevchenko by murder, probably. Your main event is going to be Alexander Volkanovski, featherweight champion, versus my boy Brian Ortega, who almost beat my ass. Like I told you that story.
Oh yeah.
Well, his team almost beat my ass.
His team. Yeah.
He's a very nice dude.
Mr. Ego.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
Exactly. This should be fun, man. I mean, Volkanovski he's a killer. He's a fucking killer, bro. He's really good. I like Ortega a lot too. Not just because he didn't fuck me up, because he's really nice, but he's overall a really good fighter. They built this up on the Ultimate Fighter for a while already. How do you see this main event going for the title?
Dude, yeah. No, this is a good ass fight. This fight was supposed to happen earlier, obviously. It got delayed. But man, yeah, this is a sick fight, dude. And I think the line betting wise is where it's at, and it should be where it's at. Volk's like a slight favorite, about -160, -170, I think. Ortega's like the +150 underdog.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect, man, because I really think Ortega has a good chance to win here. The question is, how good has Ortega got, right? We saw that kind of long layoff from him after he got that beat down from Max. He came back and looked like Ortega 2.0 against Zombie. Nobody else strikes Zombie like that, dude. Like, Zombie's still really good, like we saw in the Ige fight. And he just put it on him, dude, from moment one all the way to the end of round 5, dude. He just put it on him. He almost knocked him out. And, like, nobody does that to Zombie. So the question is, how good has Ortega really got? I don't think he's gotten good enough to beat Volk here. I think Volk's going to get it done. Volk's just too well-rounded, man. He's too smart of a fighter. He has very high fight IQ, and he knows what he has to do to get the job done right. He's going to be able to find those kind of holes in his game, you know, Kevin Lee. He's going to be able to find them. He does that well, right? Once he finds something that's working, he's going to keep going to it. He's going to exploit it, and he's going to keep doing it, whether it's the calf kicks or whether he even, like, maybe takes down Ortega and finds it like, hey, Ortega's submissions aren't really a threat to me. I can hold him here and I can beat him up a bit. I doubt that's going to happen. But, I mean, I really see this fight standing for 5 rounds, however long it lasts. I think it's going to be on the feet for majority of the time because I don't think Ortega's going to be able to get Volk to the mat. I think it's going to be a kickboxing match, man. And it's going to be competitive, dude. Like, I wouldn't count Ortega out here, like I said, but I think Volk's going to be able to do just enough. And I think Volk's really at the height of his game right now. Arguably he lost that last fight to Max, but I don't really think anybody's beating Volk right now other than Max maybe. And it's going to be competitive, like I said, but I just think Volk's going to just do a little bit more, man. And I got to take Volk here, man. I wanted to take Ortega because of that plus money value, and I think Ortega's very live here, but just thinking it over in my head and how it's going to play out, I just see Volk getting his hand raised.
No, for sure. Once again, great breakdown from MMA Investing himself. So, yeah, I mean, of course, I think if you ask anybody, even a casual, they'll tell you, yeah, Volk's the better fighter. He's the better fighter. I think you're not going to argue that. But to that point, I really want to see Ortega with that belt. Once again, putting my WWE AEW hat on. Ortega's a guy you can build your company around.
Yeah.
He has the face. He has the look. He has, he's a good talker and all that stuff too. Not necessarily really good on the mic, but good in interviews and stuff like that.
Right.
He's someone you can put on your UFC cups. He's someone you could put on your pamphlets when you go to the arenas. He's someone you could build around for sure, and he's a damn good fighter too. And of course, there's some Hispanic influence in that too from yours truly right here. But I want to see Ortega win. I definitely want to see him win. I want to see him hold the belt. If Volkanovski beats him, I'm not going to bat one eye at it. I'm not going to be surprised or shocked because, yeah, he's in his prime right now for sure. Him and Max are probably going to run it back once again just because of how good of fights they've had. But to that point, Ortega can be that X factor in that. I know he got pieced up pieced up bad by Holloway, but he's young. He has gotten better. Who knows? I'm sure he has a little bit at least, and I hope that's good enough to pull one out of the hat and get the victory. But again, if Volk wins, of course, I'm not going to bet one eye at it. Obviously, right now you ask me, gun to my head, yeah, Volk's the better fighter, but Ortega has that it factor to me. I'd love to see him with the belt, see him in multiple interviews on ESPN and all the other casual bullshit too. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's a very, very fun card overall.
Dude.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah, dude, you're right. And MMA math don't work, man. Just because Volk beat Max and Max beat the hell out of Ortega doesn't mean Volk's gonna go out here and beat the hell out of Ortega, man. And the more I'm thinking of it, I don't know, man. I've been flip-flopping in this one, dude. I'm really 50-50 on this one. And like I said, when you're 50-50 on a fight and you're getting plus 160 on a fighter, it's kind of hard not to put some money on that. So fuck, man. Like I kind of want to take Ortega here. I know I picked Volk, dude, but like,
do it, bro.
I think Ortega might get this done, man. I think like I said, I don't know if he's leveled up enough, but he might have, dude. Like he might go out there and like catch Volk early with something and just like kind of put him on his toes. And Ortega can go 5 hard rounds all day. And he can outbox Volk, man. Like, but Volk's just so good too. So it's a hard fight, man. But I'll stick to my Volkanovski pick, but Ortega's live here. And from a betting perspective, I might have to take a shot on Ortega because of that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is the first time in our very short history, us doing this conjointed MMA breakdowns, that I've actually swayed you a different way, right?
Maybe you did,
Ortega,
man. Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah, that's I'll take that notch on my belt, bro. Fucking good shit.
Do it.
But yeah, man, I mean, great shit. Again, pleasure always having you on this shit. We're going to keep doing this until we get fucking Chael Sonnen recognizing us.
Blow up.
All those dudes. So we got this. Am I investing, Joe? Go to the Patreon, subscribe, win money. Go to the Instagram, follow his shit, like his shit, comment his shit. Then do